Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering your job is gone, money doesn't exist, and nobody has ever heard of a 9 to 5. So you have one question. What am I supposed to do all day? That was normal life for early humans. And what they did with all that time might completely change the way you think about work. There was no alarm clock dragging you out of bed, no boss expecting you at 9 a.m. Your day started when the sun came up and your body was ready. But that didn't mean they did nothing. Their first priority was simple: stay alive. Gathering food, checking traps, tracking animals, finding water. Here's the surprising part: they didn't have to do this every single day. If a hunt had gone well, or enough food was already stored, that time was theirs. So what did they do with it? They sharpened tools, made baskets, prepared hides, improved shelters. And there was no boss standing over them like, "Hey, you gonna finish that or what?" They worked because it mattered. Being good at these things made life easier for the whole group. But once the essentials were handled, the day took a different turn: social time. People sat together, talked, laughed, told stories, shared food. No texting, no TikTok, no group chat blowing up. If you wanted to know what was happening, you talked to the person next to you. And those conversations weren't just small talk, they built trust, passed on knowledge, and kept the group connected. Being social wasn't a break from life. It was life. They also played, created, and experimented. Kids practiced hunting through games. Adults made jewelry from shells, carved bones, painted animals on cave walls. No social media, no Netflix, no art supplies, yet they still created just because they wanted to. That says something about us. Humans have always wanted more than just survival. As the sun went down, the fire became the center of everything. People gathered to eat, talk, and tell stories, passing down what they'd learned to the next generation. And here's the thing: those stories were survival tools. Without books or the internet, knowledge only lived in memory. When an elder told a kid where to find water or which plants were safe, they weren't just talking, they were handing down the manual. Even sleep looked different. No electric lights meant people followed the darkness, sleeping in stretches, waking up, talking quietly by the fire, then drifting off again. No alarm screaming at 6 a.m. No, 5 more minutes, battle. Their lives followed the sun, the weather, the seasons, not a clock. If there was food, they could chill. If something broke, they fixed it. Their days weren't built around, "How much money can I make today?" but around one question: what does our group need today? Then, about 10,000 years ago, everything changed. Farming and domestication meant more predictable food, bigger populations, more mouths to feed, and eventually, specialized roles and the jobs we recognize today. So next time you complain about your Monday, remember, your ancestors never clocked in, but they had something we rarely have: control over their time. Don't get it twisted though, their lives weren't easy. Hunger, injuries, weather, predators, the next meal was never guaranteed. The difference wasn't how hard they worked. It was what their time was for. No emails. No deadlines. No boss saying, "Just one more thing." We think more free time means having nothing to do. Early humans show us something different: you can have a full day without having a job. They hunted, built, created, played, and cared for each other, and when nothing needed doing, they simply rested. No hustle. No paycheck to chase. Just a completely different way of living. Because for most of human history, people didn't wake up trying to get richer or more productive. They woke up, lived the day, stayed close to their people, and survived together. And somehow, that simple life feels completely foreign to us now. Would you enjoy living like early humans for 1 week, or would you miss modern life too much? Drop your answer below. Speaking of daily routines messing with your mood, I made a whole video on how one small change can flip a bad day around in 15 seconds. Go check that out next. If you haven't subscribed to Mr. Braino yet, hit that button. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.